And Senator Rosen.
Well, thank you, Chair Risch, and I want to thank you and Ranking Member Shaheen holding this hearing today, and all of our witnesses, your families I see are here, your willingness to serve. I want to start with you. I'm actually going to stay with you for my time here this morning, Mr. Vieprecht. I want to talk about the Lautenberg program, because I'm disturbed by the persecution of Jews, Christians, Baha'is, and other religious minorities living in Iran. For more than 20 years, the Lautenberg program has provided a safe and legal pathway for Iranian religious minorities to settle in the United States as refugees, with only 2 exceptions. During the first Trump administration, when the program was suspended in February 2017, and right now due to an executive order. As the walls close in on the Iranian regime, these religious minorities, well, they need more help for the struggles they're facing, their increasingly severe state-backed repression. So could you explain what efforts, if any, you made as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for PRM in the first Trump administration to reopen the Lautenberg program, and what role you would intend to play in supporting this program if confirmed as Assistant Secretary for PRM?
Thank you, Senator Rosen. I appreciate the opportunity to address this. When I worked in PRM before as a Deputy Assistant Secretary, one of the portfolios I had was refugee admissions, and in that capacity oversaw the U.S. refugee admissions program, including the Lautenberg program under it. Before I had come on the job there, the Lautenberg program, which worked to resettle Iranians who were suffering persecution from Iran to the United States via an intermediate European country, had been interrupted due to some logistical problems that probably I would have to go into in a different environment.
Yes.
While I was a Deputy Assistant Secretary, I worked on that, trying to get that process restarted for about 2 years. The principal issue was, say, overcoming some reluctance on the part of European partners. At the point that I left that position in would have been spring of 2020, I thought we were fairly close to getting there, but that was at the very beginning of COVID, and then I moved on to a different job and didn't have the opportunity
I have
to
some
see it
other
through.
questions to ask you, so will you be willing to come work with us on reviewing this program and helping now that we hope Iran is on its back foot, weakest point in decades, and we know that there's a burgeoning movement there for some freedom, and we want to protect those religious minorities. And I'm going to kind of build on Senator Murphy's question, because I want to talk about vetting of Afrikaners and anti-Semitism as we think about persecution, because despite President Trump's indefinite suspension of the U.S. refugee admission program, reports suggest that, of course, we know white Afrikaners have been resettled in rapid fashion, with some being approved to travel to the U.S. in just weeks. So we want to talk about the vetting. One of the very first Afrikaner refugees resettled is openly anti-Semitic, including on social media. And the irony of this situation is that the administration has used the pretext of combating anti-Semitism to attack individuals and institutions it doesn't agree with. So combating anti-Semitism and other forms of hate, wherever it manifests, absolutely necessary. But why is this expedited admission of an Afrikaner refugee with a documented history of anti-Semitic social media posts? It is both unacceptable and offensive. So how do you think this individual slipped through the cracks? And if confirmed, will you commit to vetting future Afrikaners to the same high standards applied to other refugee applicants?
Senator, thanks very much for the question. Not working in PRM now, I'm not in a position to talk about how the vetting works or what might have happened in this case.
What will you do going forward?
But indeed, if I'm confirmed and in place, I can commit to ensuring that all refugees are vetted and screened to the highest possible standard.
And so you would agree that someone who has anti-Semitic social media posts and continues to do this would not be a person you would maybe consider clearing?
Just to be clear on the process for refugee admission, it's USCIS that makes the determination for who is a refugee and who gets refugee status to be admitted to the United States in that way. So that wouldn't be a decision that I would be able to make personally.
Well, you would be committed in the fight against anti-Semitism with all of us, and bringing these folks in, maybe not necessarily the best idea, just generally.
Indeed, I'm quite committed to the fight against anti-Semitism.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.